Well, good afternoon my YouTube friends, it's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and I thought I'd bring you into the grow room today to talk about roots. And of course roots and new growths are the lifeblood of an orchid, and this one that you see now is my Pastoral Innocence. This is one that was decimated last year with scale, and this part here, these two pseudobulbs, I detached from the mother plant, and I just kept them on one side for months and months, and then come the spring I decided to just wrap it up in. I saw signs of life and I decided to wrap it up in some sphagnum moss, and today I put it in a plastic pot with lots of holes. And I thought, these roots are getting ever so large, and if they hit that plastic, those plastic holes, I could be in trouble here. But I'm also in trouble now because when I was putting it in this pot this morning, and you'll see, can you see that? Can you see where I bruised that root? And partially knocked it off. So it could recover, because it could send a side root out. And this is what amazes me about orchids more than anything, is that they've got this capability of regenerating from nothing. This has got a new growth here. There. And it's got these three new pseudobulbs, and you can also see that it's got roots coming out here, and but the new roots are so brittle, it's just unbelievable. And if you knock them, bruise them with my clumsy hands, I don't know how I've done it actually, because all I've done is lift this sphagnum moss ball and put it in here, and that's what's happened. But anyway, if it aborts this root end here, then hopefully it'll send another side shoot. And but now I'm just going to get up just to see that you're all in focus. But now I shall just leave it alone, and occasionally just make sure that this little sphagnum moss here is damp but not wet. So I'm going to just put that over here on the shelf, if you just bear with me a minute. And the reason I decided to look at the roots today was this lovely one here. And this is called M.E.s Finleyi, and it's the cinnamon minus M.E.s Stewartiana. So you can see it's got this mottled effect on the leaf here. And this is, I did have it in a hanging basket over there with lava rock, and it is a species one, and I have really struggled with this one. But what I thought I'd do, and I didn't realise of course that it's deciduous, so what I've done this morning is I brought those roots inside. Can you see? I watered it first, well I placed it in water just to make those roots a little bit flexible, and there we go. And I've put her in this plastic pot, because in that lava rock, I'm not saying the lava rock wasn't, she wouldn't have accepted the lava rock, but we're into our growing season now, and at the moment she hasn't any growing tips on those roots, and I need to see some growing tips, because she's going to lose this old leaf here. She'll probably lose that leaf there. So that's what started me off this morning, thinking about roots and how each individual plant has its specific needs for its roots. This one here, this is a species, and this one is M.E.s Orchids, and this one I mounted on this piece of wood. I've damaged that little leaf there. I've not damaged that leaf today, it's been hanging on like that for 12 months. And I keep thinking, well, I'll try and not detach it. And it has been giving me signs of these growing tips, but then it seems to stop for some reason. And I did have a piece of bark there that was originally on it. And if you look from the back here, I don't know whether you can see in there, she's got roots that have gone into that bark. But just looking at that today, I was so chuffed because, of course, this is a species one. And I don't know, get out leaf. I don't know whether you can see right in there whether I'm going to go blurred now. This new pseudobulb here has got two little tiny roots just appearing there. So what I've done today, this one here, this pseudobulb here, that's got the possibility of an eye, and I'm not sure about these other two. So I've just wrapped some sphagnum moss just round here, just to help it, and not to have it completely wet, but just to give it an extra humidity because it is a species. And can you see down there where those roots are? Just to enable it to stay more hydrated. And I'm going to put that one over here now and bring this one up here. Now this is my this little one here. That's my Dendrobium Jessie. And this poor little Dendrobium has been in that many different medias, it doesn't know whether it's coming or going. But I think maybe I found the right one now. This one here, that one needs to just come in somehow. I'll tie that in after, can you see? And but this, believe it or not now, this seems to like being on this little mount, and it's got that growth there, this growth. I'm going to push those roots in, and this is on the same little mount as a one of the Dendrobium Friedrichianums. So I keep that moist, and if we look here, we have actually got signs of those roots now going into that media, which I'm very pleased about. I've got a little orchid nut flying about, excuse me. And it's all about finding that right medium for your particular orchids. And sometimes you don't find it straight away, so you just have to persevere. And this is, of course, let me just move that one out of the way so I don't catch this one. And this one here is called a Dockwrillia. And I've had this quite a while, maybe 2015. And can you see that nice little growing root there? And if I gently pull around, and she's got nice roots there, and she's got nice roots there, and this one produces needles. We don't call them canes, or there's another needle. And I used to just have it in a pot with some soil and different things in there, and it wasn't till this year that I decided to mount it and actually put it in some sphagnum moss. And this is taken, now let me just have a look at the date on the back. This was October 2016, so it's taken me nearly 2 years to fathom out what this particular orchid likes. So sometimes you don't always get it right the first time, but it doesn't matter if you don't get it right the first time. You just have to keep going. Don't worry about it. I don't. It's just, I think to myself, Keith says, oh goodness, you're not unpotting it again. And I say, well, yeah, because I'm not satisfied yet. Now, this one is the Holcoglossum subdiflorium, and it's called a terret-leaved Holcoglossum. It's a species. And this is the one I put into like a little homemade basket. Well, it's not a basket. It's a basket on top of a board. And it's been this way now for a few weeks, and let me just take this out of the way because you won't be able to see. And now whether you can see, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Down there. Some of them don't give green growing tips. They give brown ones. Got little tiny bits. Can you see them crawling? Gross, I wonder what they are. And ooh, look, crawlies, little tiny things. Anyway, that's now getting a new tip. And we take her this way, and she's got that new root there. And it's not actually closed, it's growing tip up. So hopefully now, that just hangs over there by the window, and now it's found its little niche. That will be fine. Likewise with this Dendrobium pseudo-lamellatum, and this is the one that came recently, and I've put on, it came in 2 pieces, and I've put 1 piece on here, and that's now accepted this growing media, and is sending new roots out. It's got that new growth there, and just tucked under there it's got another new growth, and it's got the, can you see, that root travelling up there. And so once, it takes your orchids sometimes several weeks or months to accept the new environment and the new growing media, but once it does, it should ramp away for you. I'll just lay that one over here because that's one of my precious ones, and like this little one here. This is a Laelia intermedia var aquini. Again, this was one that had scale, and this was purchased in September 2016, and this came from Curleen Orchidine, and quite a while ago I decided to put it into this little plastic container. It's got plenty of holes, and it's got a variety of, it's got styrofoam peanuts, it's got some hydrogen balls, lava rock, grow stones, so it's got a variety of media, and just wanting to keep my eye open in case there are any signs of the dreaded scale coming back. Can you just see in there? There. I don't think it's any, but I'll tell you what afterwards. I'll just investigate that, just to make that sure it isn't. So again, this is all about the roots. There's the, can you see the roots there? And roots coming out there. And this now has accepted this media. It's got a root down there. Excuse me, I'm on a seat, that's Now some of them don't produce the roots straight away, and this is BLC 24 karat gold. And again, I've got this in a pot, and I'll bring that up in a minute. Again, this has suffered because of the scale, but down there now, can you see in there? Can you see down there now? I'm hoping you can see. It's a very awkward angle this is to get it in, but there's a new growth and there's new roots, and that's a very good sign. And this is the other one. This is the other one. Now that's produced its new growth, but it hasn't produced its new root yet. And sometimes the cattleyas produce the roots out of new growths, and I'm waiting for that one now to give me new roots. And once it does, then that plant then will have been saved. Just reach over if you don't mind. And this is the one that I've got on this basket, and this is Epicatleya Alatilio Santa Maria, and you can see that root down there. You can see those other nice roots there, a nice new one there, and then this one secondary roots out, and you can see them there. Now if we turn it over, if your orchid loves or accepts that new environment you're giving it, it should just romp away. And inside there, can you see? That's that new root there, and that's that new root there. So this one now, I shall never need to move this off this mount. As we say, that's got a home for life now. This is the Dendrobium macrophyllum. Excuse the noise of the seat, I'm moving about. And this is the one that didn't like to be disturbed. Well, it was in that pot and I cut all its roots, and then it sent out this new growth here. It's got a fairly new growth. That one was where I knocked this here, that's another growth, and there was where I knocked another growth off, but that's coming back now. And so slowly, it will adjust to your environment, and then it should be fine then. And this one here is the one. This is the pseudo lamellatum, and this is the one that I call Avatar. Excuse me, seat creaks every time I move. And that's got this new growth now. Plenty of new roots coming, and that's going to romp away now. I'm going to get up now because I need to go to this shelf here. I'll just bring a couple down just to show you. It is making a noise, isn't it? Now, this is my Dendrobium pendulum, and the other week, if you remember, I'd got that new growth there, and I got a tiny growth there. So today I was looking just to see whether or not I've got any signs of, oh, piece of lava rock, any signs of roots, new roots. Now I don't know whether you'll be able to see, you probably won't be able to see this. No, I don't think you're going to be able to see this, but tucked in there, let's move that, see if I can move that away. Just tucked in there is a new green growing tip of a root, and that's my first indicator now that this little basket it sits in, full of lava rock, and that it's now accepted this new media. It's sent out, it's got these two new growths, that one there and that one tucked in there, and it just sits over here, a little tiny piece of lava rock. So that's fine now. And like I say, if, oh excuse me, I think I'm going to break this seed. Once it accepts the growing medium, then that's half the battle. I was looking at this one today, and this is my Thunia bensonii. And can you see that root there? I'm going to move this big. Can you see that root there? So I thought, oh, I've got a new root. And then I saw this other one. And then I thought, oh my goodness gracious, look at that, and look underneath. Can you see? So this one again has accepted that new media. Let me just slightly bring you up now. It's accepted that new media, and we've got this new growth here, and most of my worries are over now. I just put this in here because that just holds it a little bit firm. Now the last thing I just wanted to show you, and I don't know whether I've got time to actually do the repot. Bear with me. I brought everything ready. And that's this little Paphiopedilum Balatum by Rothschildianum. And why do I want to put it in a slightly bigger pot? I want to put it in a pot this size. There we go, that size. So if I just bring it up against the camera. And the reason I want to do that is it's got a new growing root there, and I believe it's got a new one coming there. Now if I just put the light on here now, and I believe that these, especially with Paphiopedilums, these roots need to be down inside the media. So I want to have as least disturbance as possible. So what I'm hoping to do is just lift this in its entirety and just put it in there. But what will happen is it'll go into a medium that's a little bit deeper. So bear with me. So let's see if I can lift it without actually doing too much damage. Because this one, if you remember, this one didn't have any growing roots at all. So I'm going to just put The thing is, I don't want too much sphagnum moss. Let's just have a look at those roots. Dare I just check there, just see the roots. I don't want too much sphagnum moss, but then again, I just need enough. Oh look, that little root's alive. I just need enough, just to help it to stay hydrated. And if I can just put some bark in here now. Now this is small to medium Orchiata bark. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to tuck that down in there. Bring it round here now. So I may just have to put a little bit more bark in here, just to cover that little root up there. There we go. And this one will sit elevated. If I just bring the camera up in a second. Here we go. I'll lift her up now. Here we go. So that one's going to sit in this little, this is just a bulb vase. And I shall just get some more Orchiata bark just to put round there, just to firm it a little bit more. I'll put some grow stones round here also, just to keep it firm in there. And now I don't need to disturb that again. So I hope this video has been useful to you all. And the last one I want to show you before is one of the Phalaenopsis, and this one here, this one's gone through the mill also, and but she's doing really well. And on those roots now is some white fluffy mould, and I'm not going to disturb this one because I know that that white fluffy mould will not do her any harm whatsoever. She's got this new leaf here, and at last this one's well on the road to recovery. Notice all those roots are hydrated, but there's no reservoir of water at all. And this one will probably be checked at the weekend. So thank you for joining me. Take care, and we'll speak again soon. Bye bye now.